This is a story of my pocket notebook and how it follows me around wherever I go. In fact, it's slowly replacing my phone. At least for some things. Let me explain. Oftentimes I'll grab my phone for a quick task, jot down a quick idea, but that attention vacuum sucks up all my time because I end up in this mindless scroll. But now I found something that, well, fits in my pocket. And this little guy has been my key to breaking free from the mindless scrolling of social media, websites, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, cat videos. You know what I mean. It's helped me reclaim my time and my attention. I'm using this powerful tool to jot down ideas when inspiration strikes, create to-do lists for my day, write out the goals I want to accomplish, process my emotions, or even just doodle when I'm bored. We live in an era of smartphones, smartwatches, various productivity apps that have multiple features that are really great. So this analog notebook looks quite humble in comparison. It really only has one feature. You can write in it. So that raises a question. Why do I use it? Well, this tool offers me 3 things that the digital tools just can't. Let me tell you all about it in this video. Let's roll. This guy is not a thief. It doesn't steal my attention. I used to use my notes app on my phone to jot down a quick idea or put something down in my to-do list. So let's say I randomly remember that I need to pick up cheese. So I think to myself, I'm going to quickly pull out my phone and I'll make a quick note. But that's not exactly how the story would go. And perhaps you can relate. I would pull out my phone, I would open the notes app, and suddenly, oh look, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And suddenly I'm distracted. There were always 50,000 distractions vying for my attention, and they got it. Sometimes I even forget why I pulled out my phone in the first place. There's a psychological effect called the brain drain, and it basically explains that the mere presence of your phone can be so distracting that it reduces your cognitive capacity. Scientists believe that it takes so much willpower to not check your phone that becomes your primary task, which is why anytime I'd pull out my phone to jot down a quick note, I'd end up distracted. But 3 weeks ago, this all changed. A friend recommended I try this humble pocket notebook, and it has changed my life for the better. I'm not trying to be dramatic, even though I am being dramatic, but really, it has changed my life. This little notebook gave me my attention back, and now I take it with me wherever I go, whether I'm going to work or I'm going to the gym, if I'm going for a walk, and especially if I'm going shopping. I put my shopping list in my notebook instead of on my phone. This way, when I need to check things off, I'm not pulling out my phone. I'm actually pulling out my notebook. And once I've picked something up, I cross it off the list. And crossing it off tangibly like that does give me a bit of a dopamine hit. It's like this mental win. I've done this. Now, if I was on my phone, I wouldn't be doing just that. I would get distracted by notifications and social media. But with my pocket notebook, it gives me just what I need. I just need to check my list, and it gives me the ability to do just that without trying to steal my attention. I get more mindful moments in my day because of this notebook. Now, since I've started using this notebook, I've definitely seen a reduction in brain drain. I feel more cognitively present. I've also noticed that now when I'm using this notebook, I get these moments of silence. If I need to jot down a quick idea, the only things I need are my thoughts, a pen, and paper. And this gives me these moments of mindfulness and introspection. In these moments, there's nothing else trying to steal my attention. There are no status updates, no emails, no notifications trying to steal my attention. It's only my thoughts and me. And I started really enjoying these tiny little moments of introspection with my pocket notebook. So I set aside time at the end of the night where I would write down any fun things that happened during the day, any memorable events, anything I was grateful for, anything I wanted to remember, and also if I had any emotions to process, I'd take that time to write them down in my notebook. And this not only gave me an opportunity to process my emotions, but also a chance to relish in them without something else trying to take away my attention and take me away from that moment with myself. Now I've got to add that for me, there's also this romanticism about writing on paper. I love the texture of the paper, the feel of pen on paper. There's this tangibleness, this organicness about it that makes it feel really romantic, and it just feels good. It's a sensory experience that a screen just can't offer. Taking a moment to disconnect and engage with pen and paper can be incredibly grounding. In fact, there's something inherently satisfying about flipping through pages and looking at your ideas. In fact, I've got one for you right here. If you found this video helpful so far, consider subscribing. It helps our little channel quite a bit. Thank you. In all seriousness, I have noticed that putting my thoughts down on paper and ink really brings them to life and helps me engage with them more deeply. Now, not only has this notebook given me my attention back and given me moments of mindfulness and joy, but it also helps me consolidate my thoughts and remember more. Before I had this notebook, I'd write down my thoughts and ideas on anywhere that was easily accessible. If I was near my laptop, I'd jot things down on a digital notebook. Otherwise, I'd just grab any scrap piece of paper and quickly write something down. If nothing else, I'd just grab sticky notes, and soon enough I was just collecting sticky notes and they were everywhere. It was a terrible system and it just didn't work. Things would go in and things would just quickly get out. I would never remember anything and I'd often lose these notes. Now with this pocket notebook, I've got all my ideas in one place and I just feel less scattered. Writing it down with pen and paper also helps me remember more. Now this is actually scientifically proven. Studies have shown that writing things out by hand improves recall. Something about physically shaping words helps us to remember them more. You also remember more because writing takes more energy, and in doing so, it stimulates your mind and it helps your thoughts become more organized and your actions more productive and your ability to recall so much better. In our brain's decision-making process, it needs to sift through a lot of information and it needs to decide what's important and what needs to be kept. So how does it know if something is important and to remember it? See, when you write things down, it's a signal to the brain that this information is important and it must be stored. Your brain will assign greater importance to it. Writing by hand forces your brain to be more engaged and to process your thoughts more complexly so that you retrieve them more easily. I do want to add that I haven't completely removed tech from the equation. It's not that I now only use a physical notebook. I do still use my digital notebooks, whether that's OneNote or Notion. It's just that I'm more strategic about which notebook I use for what task. Each of these serve a different purpose. So my physical notebook is really great for me to jot down ideas, write out quick life events, overall great for daily tasks and introspection. Whereas the digital notebooks are really great for managing a project, organizing a project, putting down detailed notes, organizing my research, and storing information. Also, at the end of the week, I'll transfer any ideas that I want to explore further from my physical notebook to my digital notebook. So I really have this hybrid system. I particularly like this specific physical notebook because it's really just perfect for what I need. It's got the pen attached to it, so I never have to worry about trying to look for a pen, which is really great. It's also aligned, which is really nice because it really just helps with the writing. And I don't really kind of have to worry about my writing going all over the place. And then it's got these really great ribbons that serve as a bookmark, which is also really nice. So overall, I just really think it's great. And the other thing is the ink doesn't bleed through the pages. So if you look, let me show you this. So here I've got some pages, and then here the ink hasn't bled through to the next page, which is great. It doesn't get jumbled. So that's the reason I really like this notebook. You can really use any one. This is just the one that works best for me. I hope you try using a physical notebook and see the benefits for yourself. Let me know how it goes. And if you're curious about how I use digital notebooks, leave me a comment below and let me know, and I'll create a video for you. In the meantime, do consider subscribing and check out this video.